Hello, hi, welcome. Yeah, the bunny game, I actually developed that a bit more, but I wanted to implement a mini game inside of it, and I started a separate project beside that using a cursor.
Mhm.
And I actually developed in 1 or 2 hours in this game, and it got escalated really quickly, and I'm going to show you how I did that in this week's.
Yeah, that's great.
Right. Let me show you the bunny game. Here's the bunny game. I changed the props a bit from 3D to 2D style, and now it's more like this. I worked on the visual effects a bit more, and my character is now speed. When I hit shift, he runs. I wanted to make this world a bit more interactive, so I started generating developing my other game, the mini game. So, welcome everyone. I will just start with, as always, if you have any questions, just let me know before I start. Last week, let's summarize the last week. We generated this uh, character by using the Whisk from Google Labs. And then we generated the 3D mesh on Tripo. 2 weeks ago, I used Hanyan, but last week I noticed that Hanyan, uh, actually one of the best mesh generator out there is Tripo, actually, and then Meshi, and then Hanyan, in my experience. So I will stick to Tripo, and even I can buy the Pro membership because it's quite good. If you are aiming for 3D game development, I should definitely suggest that. So last week we generated the concept art using Whisk, and this week I'm generating this game actually, this one. It's not mind the art style. It looks a bit childish, but it's actually in mini game from my bunny game, but I created this as separate Godot project. And I would like to talk about this a bit and talk about the cursor, the game development tool. And let me open the chat as well. Please ask your questions on the go, and I'm going to start right now. So you probably heard about Cursor. Cursor is a software which has API system, and also it can read your projects. Doesn't matter if it's game or not. And for starters, Cursor gives a bit of the small amount of free code. So that's why I bought the Pro membership this week. And this is my actually first time using Cursor. And I opened up a game project in Godot, and I come to the cursor and said, hit the open folder and open my game project. And I tell that from here, the chat, hey, I'm building this game, and this here is the GDD for you. And this is my aim and that. And cursor read that GDD and started giving me suggestions, and then I started coding without any art implemented, any script implemented in my Godot project. It was completely empty, and I just wanted to try that if anyone can start developing game without any assets. So it actually turned out so we can do it. So I generated few images on Whisk from starting here. I just had the idea of mini games in the Lila Bunny game, and this was the crystal resonance puzzle, and this was the feed the baby animals. And by the way, I'm also working on a game called Burger Shop 3 on Steam. So it actually gave me the inspiration. This is very basic match puzzle game actually. It's quite old. It has old art style. I'm working on developing its visuals. And I just wanted to try out if I can develop this game in few hours. And I first started with generating a building prompt, of course, the game prompt. And I had some game concept ideation before starting, which is this one. This is inspired by a Royal Match, which is made by Dream Games. This one is actually very popular. So I just wanted to use the same art style. And here are the sprite sheet of the SS. And then I literally use this art style, but a bit more cozier. And then when I satisfied with the one of the result, which is probably this one, I go into Photoshop. I just downloaded one of these images and I just separated each character, food. So it was my initial AI generated image. Let me show you what I got in Godot, by the way, before keeping you waited. This is the game. These are the food, and these are going to be UI, and this is order. This is going to be order, but the position is not right now. And the bunny is asking for clover. I give the clover, and happy emotes comes out. And I, for example, give the carrot, and now bunny is angry. And for the other characters, it goes like this. And there will be user interface implemented, and also there will be a conveyor here, which will bring the food, and there will be maybe a bit timing here. The animals will be clients actually. They're asking for food. So this is going to be a mini game in my game. So first, let me get back to Photoshop. And Atria asked, did you separate the character asset by yourself or using AI to generate them separately? I actually did myself, but there are tools, AI tools, which does that for you. But I did it in here in Photoshop, and just wanted to show you that you can just use one image to create a basic core mechanic. And then, of course, I'm assuming that you have Photoshop knowledge. If you don't, please watch tutorials, because Photoshop is actually quite important for game development project. And I just use basic Photoshop tools like object selection tool to separate the characters. And I'm not going to do that in here, and just will show you the separated parts. And these are the animals and food and the user interface. Of course, user interface is full in my generation, so I just cleared out using Photoshop tools. I'm not going to go in there. And then I also added, I think I don't have it in here. I also added the emotes, and how I did that is I just used this prompt and asked GPT to create me other emotes. And I just selected which are the best. For example, for angry, I used this one. For the happy emotes, I used this one. And I didn't hustle that much of, for the art process. I just focused on cursors, vibe coding, development part. And for starters, as I said, I just explained what my game is going to be like. And actually, I started in ChatGPT at first. And GPT explained me that there will be three different scenes. And one scene is for the main scene, which is this one, and the one for the food and one for the animals. And of course, there are a lot of things to fix. There are so many bugs right now, but this game actually made in just 1 or 2 hours, and I could have made it much faster, but it's because I'm also not very familiar with Godot. I'm actually using Unity, but for the AI game development purposes, I choose open source. So this is the process. If you want me to do it from start, I can also uh, start from concepting and separating in Photoshop. But I don't think it would be done in half hour. And any questions so far? So let's start with, yeah, here I'm fixing the positions of the food. Uh, Actually, Cursor is good at coding, but my way of vibe coding is a bit different. Like I do like undestructive development, and once the game starts building up on top, uh, it starts needing refactoring because it starts fall out from the other perspectives. Patrick asked, I missed the part, this first part. Would be good if AI companion is allowed, so I can ask him. What do you mean by AI companion? Oh, you mean the cursor? Oh, yeah, it's activated by Gökhan, I guess. And oh, I have quite long chat with GPT. Okay, so yeah, here is the GDD for GPT. And I use this in Cursor as well. And oh, I'm sorry, it's in my language. It's in Turkish. I keep writing in English, but once you keep up with development, you get lost in your language. So yeah, the animals. The ideation is also happens in GPT as well. I didn't think of the characters. I just maybe I should have add the personalities as well, but as I said, I just focused on the cursor development. By the way, guys, just tell me if you are interested in cursor side more or concept art than prompt engineering side. Let me know which one do you want to learn more, and I will go back to there. And also, by the way, we can also animate the character from last week. Okay, Atira. We can animate this character in maybe this one. Patrick said, for the beginning, I would love to know how to create consistent characters in several scenes for my simple idea visualization. Yeah, the character, consistent character. Actually, we did that on our previous Q&A, but if we have left with in today's session, I will just summarize it quickly. And let's get back to cursor. I think we have the replace of last week's Q&As, Patrick. So here, let me start with completely new Godot. And this is actually live game development session. And I just missed the Zoom. Okay, game dev. Let me say it like this. And we have the files, and I'm opening cursor from. I just hit open folder and chose the folder from my drive. And here is my Godot project, and this is here the Godot project. Okay, now we need the ideation. Of course, we don't have any. We can just make very simple game mechanic, and let me ask that to GPT, of course, for not losing any time. And we are having Zoom session for cursor game dev in Godot. Give me basic idea. Collectible cozy game. Actually, we can just do that as well. And torch lighting is this. GPT is actually suggesting me the game ideas that I already told him. Drag and drop food, which is the other one. Great movement. The ideas that we haven't spoken. Oh, we can actually. I had an idea this week. Let me open that up. It's actually quite it has a cool art style as well. It was for a company. This one. The art style is inspired by Dream Match, and we have these assets. It's all separated from this AI generated image, and the whole idea is actually it's like match two puzzle game. It's like a royal match. You just complete the puzzle and start decorating the room like so. We can. Which one? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, the image separation. Actually, I did that using Photoshop, of course. Here are the generated images. I started with, as always, prompt development, and I decided on the art style. And when the art is what I'm looking for, I just downloaded it. And in Photoshop, let me show you which one. Yeah, I generated image something like this. And then I tried to remove the interior objects and just tried to generate it a simple empty room, but I couldn't do that on Whisk. Interestingly, I actually generated the image in ChatGPT, which actually was surprising for me. The GPT give me this this room completely empty like this. And I just started building on top of that. The lamps, I used different images for the assets. For example, I like this front counter. Let's say I just downloaded this one, imported in Photoshop, And then let me put this over here. And then I just, I used basic separation tools like this. And hell of a painting. Cleaned up like so, and added drop shadows and everything like so. So the whole process for such a room, it all starts with ideation, then concept art, draws your ideas. Of course, it's all starts with sketching, and then it pass to the 3D artist. 3D artist create the perspective, the camera matching, and the 3D models, lighting, rendering, and of course coloring, shader work, lighting, rendering, and then we come to the polishing project on Photoshop. We get renders completely separately. We have to show you here one of my latest project from last year actually. This is you you can generate this image on AI, of course. So this is actually a bit uh, high paid job on game industry. So it start with this like so. These are the 3D meshes in Blender, which painted over. The process goes like this. There are so many layers on Photoshop, and then you come up with the game is, by the way, time. It's probably Time Blast. This one. There's a puzzle game mechanic going on, and here is the meta site. This was very first scene. I actually didn't work on this one, but I worked on the next ones. Of course, there's also a character artist generates the renderings and actually creates the renderings. This is how scene builds up. But we pass the every step on this scene creation with AI generation. Yeah, Whisk adds more cuteness. And ChatGPT also adds weird orangey photo filter, like some weird colors. Sometimes and also GPT takes quite a time for creation. In Whisk, it's very easy and fast. And let's get back to a game development on Cursor. And also in Whisk, you can also generate the animations. For example, here where I probably generated. These are the videos. For example, one of the room animated. Of course, this is not very polished, but there are some. This uses VO2, by the way. For example, it's good for sprite sheet, which we created in 2 weeks ago's Q&A session. And also here is it for a sprite sheet, walking sprite sheet. You can create from the video to sprite sheet, and also, but VO3 is so much better than VO2. So how to use VO2 is You can just use Gemini chat, which gives pro memberships 3 daily free generation. For example, these are my yesterday's generation. Oh, actually, I generated game ideas that I have on GPT, and created these prompts and generated the in-game play AI generated videos on Gemini. So what does VO3 do better than VO2? It actually adds life, like this one, for example. So this was my initial the art and gameplay video, and also other game is this. Here is the list for Lila, for the player. If you use the correct ordering and hit the right colors, crystal colors, you unlock the cozy music, like something like that. And for this one, it's food feeding, and this one is stone stacking. And I think it's quite. I'm not sure if there are any stone stacking in any game. And these are the ideation. But of course, you can make stone stacking much more cooler, like something like these in game. Hey Patrick, you can ask on community the questions, and also on Q&A, of course. This one is a bit like a community question. I can show you the style changing on Whisk. But creating this one, the big map projects be realized in Godot. You can discuss it in community. By the way, I noticed that there are always 2D games on Godot. There are not much of 3D. If you know, you can just link that to community to share what is possible with Godot. But I know that Godot has quite possibilities to create cool 3D games, but just don't have that store like Unity has. Okay. So in Cursor,
Hey, now can you hear me? No, sorry for that. Headset is giving me headaches today. So let's start with, I have an idea of a game where you can collect flowers in open map. Let's start with a cube walking around, and you can change that cube to the character which we created last week. So there are some things I should mention. There's an auto selected models which understands your intention and switches between these models. And of course, you can add models with API. I didn't try that. I just use auto. And for this part, there are agent and ask sections. Now, Cursor is actually started scripting, as you can see. And let me open up Godot. And I will just create a 3D scene. And here you can see Cursor is actually changing the files. Okay, he's updating the main scene. And in my experience, you should set up GitHub or fork or whatever you use. That's because you might want to go back while developing by coding, because not every code works perfectly. So here, the summarize of what our initial start is. The cursor created the game features, the player character, and here we have these scripts. So we have the scene and the script. And if I, let me see, if I, yeah, he says how to play. He also creates the readme part as well, which is very cool. I open a project and press F5 and use the arrow keys and move the cube around. Let's try that. Oh, we have a cube walking around. I think it's so cool. It's just take 2 minutes to create me this specific scene. And I know that how many hours it took on me to create that in ChatGPT. And now I'm just going to change that mesh to our bunny character. Let me find that bunny character first, because last week I used another computer. Oh, actually, it's on our community. I can just download it from there. I think it's on here. Oh no, it's not here. Let me. Or you can just add my Lila character. Okay. So I chose the mesh instance 3D, and from this section, I go load. Now I will have to add that character to core file, which is here. Godot. Let's just add in here. I added GLB file. And then I just drag them. It doesn't accept the GLB. Collision player, and let's maybe do that in cursor as well. I just want to save time in the same time, and also understand its possibilities. I will just try to, no, I just don't need to add that on here. Let me add a project file, which I did, and I will just take its name and write in here, change cube to Lila GLB now. I wonder if cursor can handle that. Created to-dos. Oh, he already know for adjusting the collision as well. Okay, it reads the Lila GLB file. I wish we could use the bunny. I think let me find the bunny. Okay. Okay. So it finished, but Godot crashed. Let's start the Godot again. And let's start the game. Okay, now we have the bunny character. It actually gives response to WASD commands, but the face doesn't change. So let's say, let's change the character to this one. Port to this one. Also add feature that when I hit change the character rotation as well. So in Cursor, this is how I actually created my Wild Bloom and the other minigame. Maybe for the upcoming Q&A sessions, we can have the ideation first, and then we can just develop that game. Okay, now the GD is updating. Oh yeah, for the latest Q&A sessions, people ask me that if we should have at least a minimal coding skill. I will say no, but you have to understand your code because it's a building. You will keep build until it's good enough to share on platforms. So you need to understand your system. So if you want to add feature and if you don't know where is your electricity cables coming from, and you are not the constructor anymore. So that's why in my first game development, which is Wild Bloom, I had the problem for the building the features on top of the game. So that's why then you need to refactor your game and start completely new project to understand what is your system is. So now our character is turning its faces. Let's reload this one. Yeah, it's turning. And we have player and main. Okay. Of course, it's flying. We should fix its position. I don't think this is going to work because it's scripted out, but let's try. Yeah, it didn't work. It's actually broke something. So I'm not going to change its position. So that's why this is actually quite a good example of why you should understand your scripts. For example, I'm not game developer, by the way. I'm 3D artist, but developing game gave me the skill of understanding your codes. And also, I would like to change the camera. I usually like to add camera by hand, but when you use Cursor or another vibe coding app, you can't change the position by hand in 3D anymore, because when you hit play, the camera will keep consistently stay this scripted area. So that's why you should understand at least a bit of reading your scripts. For example, now it's more close to character, but let's say I would like to change a bit more. It's from quite high angle. And this is where I can't read the angle. So I use GPT in here, and it's also a quite good example. And I have this cam code, let's say script on Godot. Also, you should tell Godot which version is. And GPT sometimes uses old versions. I would like to add a camera angle script. And GPT will take this and update with the angle. Rotate camera and player, input mouse or keys. I didn't say that, but it's also an idea. Yeah. And I don't really spare my time and read the script. I just try it. Okay. Oh, now we have, when I change my mouse, this is the feature I actually wanted to add to my White Bloom game. Now I have mouse scrolling and I can check around because this is flower collecting game. I should have this mouse look around feature. And let's say I just want to add some liveness into my project. I just use Whisk and GPT to generate prompt for base texture, and which is here ground. Let's use one of my alt texture. I just add standard material here, and it's the same as Unity, of course. I just don't want to go into Godot tutorial because I'm not Godot expert. You can watch these online on YouTube or anywhere. For example, I have this grass image from my White Bloom project. And I will just use that on base texture. Of course, I need to mention that in Godot, when you hit load, you can't change your hard drive. This is an annoying thing on Godot. You should manually add your art assets. Of course, I should open art here to make things tidy. And now I have art, and it's on the ground, and it's crashed again. I don't know why. This isn't the first time I'm experiencing this. Usually open sources are quite stable. He took my, no, it didn't. Open new, the texture. Load in here and get to the 3D. Now we have ground texture. And also let's fix our character's position. It might be because of, no, it's actually on origin point. It's related to script. Let's, okay. I just don't want to, let's say, lose time on that. Here's my assistant. Hey, assistant. I want this character's position scripted, so I can change it. Maybe ground might be wrong as well. Let me check the ground. Actually, there's no No, our character is everything looks fine. Probably it's because of script. Okay, GPT does this separate script thing, and I always ask, give me full script. Okay, let's try the script. Okay, now we have problem. When I bump into these problems, I just take screenshot and without seeing anything, I just send to GPT. By the way, there is in my old script, there is jump velocity. Let's say it's 0. Is it the problem? No, it's not. Just rename your function, for example. Upgrade full script. Yeah, it's coming here. Okay, there is no problem now. The mouse is quite sensitive, by the way. By the way, the character rotation is not working right. When I press S, it turns his face to WV side. Now respawn point here. I couldn't find it, but we can fix it on cursor, but you got the point. I could keep going like this for long hours. And I'm actually excited for my game development as well. There are much more things to know and learn. And any questions from your side, by the way? I think we are at the end of our Q&A sessions for this week. Okay then. We need to ask, did you find a way to increase the length of videos? Oh yeah, I did. When I couldn't share that. Let me open my CapCut and also Gemini. And also I wanted to extend one of my videos from last week. Let me find which one was it. Okay, for example, this one. The character is fishing. Okay, this one. The character is fishing, but it's 8 seconds long and I want to make it longer. So I download the AI generated video first, and I'm using CapCut demonstrating this, but it doesn't matter what you use. You can use DaVinci, Premiere Pro, and I just select the last frame of the video and I just export that still frame. And you can just take screenshot as well. And I will just use that last frame and add that photo here. And I will just take that. Yeah, it's stitching frames. It starts from here and changes whatever you ask for. And I will tell GPT that I actually generated this prompt as well, but I will demonstrate in here. I need a near actually how to say that. I need continuous part of this animation, which fish come out from river and bunny scares. Yeah, something like this. And here, it's new prompt. I just don't focus on the prompts that much. And it will take a few moments to create. Oh, my headset changed. So that's why I don't hear anything. Oh, look at that luck. Let's try it again. But you got the point. I can share it on community if no, it's not goes out of requests. Oh, let me try on another chat. I knew that there was an option on which platform, I don't know, but I know that Sora has that. OpenAI Sora, but Sora is not satisfying, in my opinion. It has the feature that extends the video length. And also CapCut, some feature on CapCut. For example, here, generate with AI video. Yeah, import image, but of course it changes the model. So the art style will also change dramatically. I don't recommend that. If you start with a one model, you just keep working on that model. Okay, it's now generating. Now I'll just download this one to CapCut, import it in here, and let's see if it's, yeah, the transition is seamable, but we've extended the video. There is a bit of resolution change here, and also it's a bit warm, but even the butterflies are in the right position. So this is the idea that I come up with. And if you have better ideas, please just share it to community and let's learn together. And if you have any questions also, just ask our community, keep in touch. And thanks for this week's Q&A session. And let's prepare for the upcoming one. Have a nice week. Bye.